Rest in peace, M.G.T.0.W. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, right? You think I'm gonna do some kind of video where I'm like, oh, I told you so, haha. Told you M.G.T.0.W was gonna fucking die. I told you they're gonna demonetize everyone and take their videos down. No, contrary to what some people believe, I'm not this, I told you so kind of person. And there's definitely a silver lining to M.G.T.0.W dying, because although M.G.T.0.W is dead and videos may start getting removed on YouTube, we all know all videos are demonetized. The red pill mindset lives on, and it lives on in so many men that have never even heard of M.G.T.0.W. See, the only thing that's going to die is just wearing the title of M.G.T.0.W, or maybe being able to use M.G.T.0.W in your videos and being able to get paid to wear the name M.G.T.0.W. But it's really not that big of a deal if you think about it. Because like I said, the red pill philosophy will live on. You're just going to have to word it a little differently. You'll still have demographics of men that come to you and support you if you're a content creator. And like I think this dude Ringo TV said, all roads lead to M.G.T.0.W anyway. So like I said, Generation Z, the generation after, most of those guys are going to be red pill, whether they even know what the red pill is, because they're not equipped with the mental skills or the money or the quality of woman to sustain a marriage anyway. So you see, like I said, it's going to be like a pump and dump savage fest in the next 10, 15 years. So it's really not a big deal that M.G.T.0.W is dead, unless you are just a ride or die M.G.T.0.W and you're just in love with the title of M.G.T.0.W. But the thing is, this just proves the point I was trying to explain to you guys, why you need to have your own inner circle, whatever your agenda is, because the tree that stands the tallest is the one that gets cut down, right? M.G.T.0.W was too public. It was too in your face. It was starting to get too popular, as a brand, essentially. So yeah, that's how they start cracking down on things. But it never really had that much power because it was in the spotlight. And when you're in the spotlight like that, you lose a lot of your power. Real power lies in the shadows. That sort of anonymity and that blending in gives you a lot more power than standing out and, getting picked off like a target. So it's really not a big deal that M.G.T.0.W is dead. And like I said, even if you're a content creator, you can make the exact same videos and just not use the word M.G.T.0.W and still have a pretty decent subscriber base and make your money if it's about your money. But not even the money, not even about the money. It's just like, the dudes out here are all M.G.T.0.W right now anyway. Like, dudes my age, early 20s, I'd say maybe like, I don't know, maybe 1 in 25 guys I know gets married, or 1 in 30. The rest are just like pump and dump animals, or incels, or just dudes who casually date. Like, dudes aren't really committing like that, man. So it's really not a big deal that M.G.T.0.W is dead as a word. It's nothing to panic about. Going forward, you want to stop using big titles like that. If you have your own if you have your own little group of, 10, 20 guys, you can have a name, like little occult, organizations, they have their little names. It might be like, I don't know, Snake and Tiger, the Order of the Snake and Tiger, or like the Order of the Black Cobra. Like, you could have your own group and still preach red pill philosophy, and teach people and educate people without having to use this big brand of M.G.T.0.W and getting everyone else to follow it. If anything, this should be a lesson to you guys, why you move in silence, why you do things more secretive, and you want to sort of covert attack. You have to attack the powers that be in a very similar way that they attack you. The problem with M.G.T.0.W is it's too upfront and honorable and in your face, and you're still depending on these sleazy behind the scenes people not to shut you down. They're not going to meet you face to face and give you a fair fight. They're going to use underhanded tactics, to snuff you out, the way they are, by just banning you, shadow banning you, stuff like that. So you have to take that same approach in the way that you teach people, and in the way that you run your channels at the same time, moving forward, that's really just the end of it. It's really not a big deal. It changes nothing in the real world, because, like I said, most men are red pill now, whether they know it or not, and if they aren't yet, they will be forced to very soon. And the men that are fighting to actually make it change are doing it in a very covert way, which will be much more effective anyway. So let that title M.G.T.0.W die and start getting creative and secretive and doing things in a much more stealthy way, and you'll actually start building real connections with people, and you'll form much deeper connections, and these people will actually, since you're so much closer to them, they'll be able to help you in your real life as well. Think of it this way. You want more of like a secret brotherhood than a public brand like M.G.T.0.W was. That's not the approach you take when you're dealing with this kind of person. It's like the powers that be are like psychic wizards, right? And you're trying to take a sword and run up to a psychic that can use its mind to make you fly into a wall. You're never going to hit it with the sword. You have to take the same approach they're taking and use, more stealthy tactics, more subliminal tactics, more covert tactics. But so many men are still brainwashed to be honorable and upstanding and honest about everything and have morals. And all that's designed to do is to weaken you and to get you to expose your hand. Meanwhile, the people you battle, it's like the same thing women do. Men think because they're upstanding and honorable that women are just going to reciprocate that out of respect, and they don't. They use sleazy, underhanded tactics, lies, manipulation, deception, shaming, love bombing, all kinds of things. You have to take a similar approach with what you're doing if you really want it to be effective. Now, if you're just trying to walk away, then yeah, you can just keep walking away, man, because it's already the way it is now. So it's really not much of a blow. It's not much of a loss, honestly. Yeah, man. Yeah, nothing's really going to change. People will just start... I think more people will just start doing what I'm doing. Just dropping the dope content, but not having to use the word M.G.T.0.W in it, because it really doesn't mean anything. And anytime you put a name on anything, anytime too many people put a name on something, it just devalues it over time. And that's what we're seeing happen with M.G.T.0.W. So it's really not a big deal. Life goes on. And, people like me will continue to make dope videos for you and move forward with our agendas. And, yeah, you'll just see more effective ways of doing things in the future. So, R.I.P. M.G.T.0.W.